welcome to Charmy's Bookcase, where I, Charmy Terrell, review and discuss books I've read. On this video, I'll be discussing the books with the best opening lines. I've always loved reading, but I haven't gotten into it regularly till probably 2022. Since then, I've read about 109 books. And today I want to talk about a few books with opening lines that really captivated me. I'll give a little insight to the book, but it will be spoiler free. Without further ado, let's get into it. People think blood red, but blood don't got no color. The Book of the Night Women by Marlon James. This book is an adult historical fiction novel that focuses on a slave woman named Lilith, born on a Jamaican sugar plantation. She joins a group of women planning a revolt against their masters. I really enjoyed reading this book, but I have to admit, this story isn't for the faint of heart. This book doesn't hold back on the horrors of slavery, and is very explicit in its storytelling. Many people complained about the crude and vulgar language used in this book, but I didn't mind. I love the way the book is written, compelling and emotional, so much so that I was crying at times. The first line really speaks to the bloodshed that goes on during this book, and I gotta tell you, it's a lot of it. This book also has elements of African mythology that I loved learning about, even though I had to stop and search on Google every 5 minutes to really understand. I gave this book a 4-star rating because I just loved this book. From the beginning to the end, even though at times it made me mad and it made me cry, I just loved reading this book, and I highly recommend it. Though if you are squeamish and don't like violence, then don't read it. The Child is Dead. There is Nothing Left to Know. Black Leopard, Red Wolf by Marlon James. Here's another book by Marlon James, but I didn't quite like this book like I liked the last one. This book is an adult science fiction novel that follows a man named Tracker for his impressive tracking skills. His nose has a strong sense of smell that allows him to hunt down people even miles away. He is soon called on a mission to track down a little boy who is taken. He joins a group of kooky characters traveling all across the country looking for this lost boy. The main reason why I didn't like this book was the overlapping stories, the jumping in time, and I felt like this book was all over the place. This book, like the first, also is very upfront in its disturbing content. If you can't handle blood and violence, I don't recommend it. This book too is riddled with African mythology, which were the parts that I enjoyed the most. Now, the first line isn't a spoiler, but it really speaks to the main character's mental state. The group spends years looking for this boy, and at this point the boy has been with his captor for 7 years. So if he isn't dead, then he's most likely completely under the control of his captors, and therefore he might as well be dead. Overall, I rated this book a 3 stars. I enjoyed it for most part, but I just wish the story was a straight line than a zigzag. It's not like I'm against backstories, but when it happens every 5 seconds, then that's when I have a problem. We Were All Villains in the Beginning. Renegades by Marissa Meyer. This book is a young adult science fiction novel that follows 2 characters, Adrian and Nova, as they navigate in a city filled with superheroes, aka renegades, people with extraordinary abilities. It's very similar to Amazon's show The Boys, where superheroes are seen as celebrities and are very much in the public, but without all the boys' adult content. Nova is a part of a rebel alliance against the renegades, and joins their upcoming superhero program to infiltrate and spy on them. While Adrian, on the other hand, is the opposite of Nova, believing in the goodness of the renegades. The first line speaks to the morality of the book, whether both Nova and Adrian are on the right side. Both sides have done bad things, though I can't really recall if the renegades really did anything wrong. Yeah, I can see why Nova will have some hard feelings against them. They weren't there when she needed them, but they're superheroes, not God. They can't be everywhere at once. But correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I haven't read the second book yet, so maybe that's where the renegades will really show their true colors. But so far they haven't really done anything. One thing I didn't like about the book was them having teens in the police force. I thought that was really weird. I feel like the characters in this book should have been a little bit older. I rated this book 3 stars. I love the concept of the book, but I didn't really find the characters enjoyable, and they were annoying at times. Once upon a time, on the coldest night of midwinter, in the darkest heart of the forest, death and fortune came to a crossroads. Little Thieves by Margaret Owen. With that one line, I knew I was going to love this book. Little Thieves is a young adult fantasy novel that centers around Vanya, an abandoned girl who is taken in by two goddesses, Death and Fortune. To escape her life of poverty, she takes the identity of a high-born girl she used to work for. She begins stealing from the rich, long enough to get all the money she needs to disappear for good. But when she steals, without the permission of a certain goddess, she is cursed and turns slowly into rubies and gems, till she either dies or breaks the curse. There is a lot I loved about this book. I love the magic system explored in this book. I love the world building with a goddess and goddesses all running around. I just wish the book did have a map of showing the entire world. But I also love the book designs and covers, how each chapter is beautifully designed. This is a very aesthetically pleasing book. I rated this book 4 stars and I can't wait to read the next one. Bullets Have No Names. Wings of Ebony by J.L. This young adult urban fantasy novel tells the story of a girl named Rue, who finds out her father is a being from another land with magical abilities. Rue herself also has abilities, and when her mother dies, her father shows up and takes her away from everyone she knows. Her new home is hidden in secrecy, kind of like Wakanda with its secrecy, and when she goes back home to see her sister, the one she left behind, the secret place is exposed. She must now protect her sister and everyone she loves from those who are determined to keep their society a secret, and they will do so by any means necessary. This book was a miss for me. I didn't like the love story aspect. I felt like it was rushed and came out of nowhere. Also, there are 2, so I assume it is setting up a love triangle that's supposed to be in the next book. Also, I found the main character to be very annoying. In the end, I gave the book 3 stars. I really liked the beginning of the book, but towards the middle and end, it just lost me. Well, there you have it. I have a lot more opening lines I liked, but if I list them all right now, this video will be hours long. Stay tuned for part 2. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel and hit that bell to be notified every time we drop new content. If you want to follow our social medias, they'll be linked in the description box below. Bye! See you next time!